I, male 37, have been with my wife for 2 years. I have a stepdaughter, Nancy. She's a teen and she's difficult. So difficult to deal with. She generally has little to no respect for me. She'd respond to me saying, "What do you want, weirdo?" Or, "I'd do this or that once you divorce mom and leave us alone." Honestly, I don't know what her problem is, and I don't care at this point. I still, however, expect her to respect me and my home and my boundaries. Lately, I started seeing framed photos of her mom, and her dad being distributed around the house, like the living room shelf or the kitchen counter. I brought it up with her, and her first thought was, jealous much? Does it serve as a constant reminder of the fact that you broke this family up? I have to admit, this made me angry beyond measure. I told her to remove them because I disagreed with having them around in my house, specifically not her dad. She acted nonchalantly about my request and ignored me. I warned her that I'd remove them myself, and she blew up at me saying that this is her family, this is a part of her life, and I should respect that. I reminded her this is my house, and she should have some respect and stop leaving pictures of her happy family around, period. I encouraged her to take them to her dad's house instead. That would be more appropriate, in my opinion. She kept arguing, then walked out while mumbling under her breath, "Idiot." So I ended up punishing her, and then getting my wife to remove the photos. My wife kept asking me to let the punishment go, since the photos were no longer there. But I refused, because Nancy hurt my feelings, and disrespected me in my own home. She must have told her grandparents, who came after me, even on social media, crying abuse and mistreatment. And my wife has been acting like I started this, and that I'm the one at fault, or the one who was deliberately looking for a fight. Am I the idiot here? You are the idiot. You're the adult, and you clearly don't want a relationship with your stepdaughter. Don't marry someone with a kid if this is your attitude. My house, my home. So does Nancy not live here, or? Again, my home. It's clear from your language that you see Nancy as an irritation and not part of your life. Also, did she hurt your feelings? Boo stinking who? Her whole life has been uprooted this last 2 years. 100%. It sounds like you've made it clear that this girl is not welcome in your home or your life. Spoiler alert, it's her home too. Is her behavior childish? Yes, because she's a child. What's your excuse? Honestly, you can't understand why this girl might want to see a photo of her family in her home? Or do you want to push boundaries to claim a little part of your home, especially considering you detest having her there? You are the idiot. If you made her new family a little more welcoming, perhaps she'd be happier to leave old photos in her room. My former stepdaughter did the same thing, except just in her room. I was in there with her, and she pointed it out. I said, "That's a wonderful picture. Your mom is beautiful. I see where you get your looks from." And she was stunned. I already knew her mom was spiteful. I was not going to let that affect our home life at all. OP has more control over his emotions and environment than he thinks he does. He helped create this mess and allow hate to fester. Get your head out of your butt and act like an adult. Not the idiot. First, for those folks that think a step-parent can't punish a stepchild, heck yes they can. They are an adult that shares co-parenting responsibilities, not some squatter her mom is hooking up with. A step-parent can especially discipline a teen who is purposefully being a brat, cruel, manipulative, and trying to undermine her parents' authority. Calling an adult a name in their own home is never acceptable. In fact, her ongoing harassment and tactics with the photo are also abusive. And just because she's a teenager doesn't let her off the hook because her feelings are hurt that her bio parents split up. She can be mad, but if this girl's behavior is as OP describes it, well, that girl needs professional help and a new household. It doesn't matter if that relationship started out of infidelity. It's not any of her business. My 25 female, fiance 27 male, proposed a few months ago, and we're getting ready for our wedding. We're currently making a guest list, and we will send out invitations in the next few weeks. Our plan for the wedding was for it to be child-free. I've been to many weddings that were ruined by screaming and wailing tykes, And as much as I love kids, I would prefer there not be screaming at my wedding. So the rule was that no children below the age of 10 were invited. So my fiance has a little sister, nearly adult, who he's close to and whom I really do like. I'm very excited to be her older sister-in-law. She was going to be a guest at our wedding. However, a few days ago, we found out that she's pregnant and plans on having the baby. Now, I'm not going to sit here and shame her for her irresponsible actions or anything, but I felt like this was a very big deal. My family is very religious, and I know they'll be unhappy, and it would potentially ruin their time if they saw a pregnant young lady at my wedding. That, of course, isn't that big of a deal. What I'm more worried about is her due date. She's apparently due 2 weeks after the wedding. My worry is this: pregnant women require a lot of care and extra accommodation. There's also the risk of her water breaking at my ceremony and taking all the attention away from me on my day. Call me selfish, but I feel that my husband-to-be and I should be the focal point. I don't want to risk her giving birth and needing even more attention that should be placed on me. So I think she shouldn't be there. I told my fiance and he got unbelievably angry at me. He told me I was being a complete idiot by not inviting her since she's his little sister. I get that they're very close, but it's not a good idea. Attention aside, I don't think a 9-month pregnant woman should be on her feet at a wedding so close to her due date. He told me I was backpedaling and I should be ashamed of myself. He then told his whole family and they're all mad at me for suggesting this. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. This is a girl who's likely to face a lot of ostracism and challenges already, and you seem eager to be the first in line to make things harder for her. Be careful because you show some, and unsettling, colors to your future husband and in-laws. You are the idiot. Are you disinviting cheaters or anyone who has had a divorce? How about anyone who got a woman pregnant out of wedlock? How about anyone who had premarital intimacy or did it before 21? Where exactly is the line for your godly family? Are only young girls who have visible evidence of their sin shunned? Almost everyone in the room had premarital intimacy, including you, right? If the sister isn't feeling well or up to it, she can decide. You aren't concerned for her. You're concerned about keeping up appearances for your parents. The problem is, they're going to find out there's a pregnancy anyway. And if they're so judgy they can't even be at the same event, that is firmly a them problem. Your soon-to-be husband is right. You should be ashamed of yourself. If someone has a heart attack during your ceremony, are you going to whine about how they stole attention from you? Oh, wait, yes, you probably will. I hope your fiance calls off the wedding, seeing what an idiot you are. My nearly adult female, sister, teen, has a habit of taking things from my bedroom and keeping them or losing them. My father has talked to her, grounded her, made her pay them back, but she just doesn't listen. My mom always takes her side and makes excuses for her. Finally, my dad had enough, so he bought me a small safe against my mom's wishes, and I keep some jewelry, makeup, and my diary, and gifts from my boyfriend, 19, Caleb. Cal comes from an upper-class family and he's always buying me stuff. Most of it gets stolen by my sister, but the most precious gift I have for him is an iPad Pro he gave me for my birthday. I love to draw. It's my hobby, my form of expression, and how I relax. I used to do it on my laptop, but since Cal gave me the iPad, now I can do it in my free time during class, on the train, the garden, so I have more options now. Cal also made a custom case that he paints with many things for me. When I'm out of home, I leave it in my safe because it's the only thing I don't want to lose. And to be honest, I don't want my sister putting her hands on it. I spent 2 days at my brother's 21 apartment planning my little sister's birthday party. When I came back, I went to take the iPad to sketch some ideas, but I only found the case. I thought I had left it somewhere, but I was sure I didn't. I also never took the case because it's my favorite thing. I looked around my whole room, my dad's office, and the garden, since I'm usually there all the time. I also called Cal and asked him if I left it at his house, but he said no. When my family came back, I was crying in the kitchen. My dad asked what had happened, and I told him that I couldn't find my iPad. My mom said very lazily, "Your sister lost it on the train yesterday." I asked, "What?" And she said, "Your sister took it to school and lost it. Accidents happen, let it go." I was livid. I said that my sister opened my safe, I don't know how, and stole my tablet. My mom told me to shut up and never to call my sister a thief again. My dad got involved, and after much fighting, he said that my sister had to pay me back. My sister just said that she didn't have money and attempted to go to her room. So I told her that I'd take the money for her party and just keep it for my iPad. She came back at me and told me that I couldn't do it. My mom sided with her and demanded the money, but I said no, she owes me. I get to keep it, and ran to my room. My father said that I could do it and buy another one. My brother transferred the money a few hours ago, and it's still sitting in Cal's account because I don't have one yet. My sister has been crying because she just lost her Sweet 16 party and said a tablet is worth much less than that. My brother is coming home in around 20 minutes to talk to my parents. I don't know why, but it might be about my sister. Not the idiot. Your mom is enabling your sister's behavior. So long as there are no consequences, she will keep doing this. She lost something essential to you after stealing it. Your mom wasn't even going to replace it? Also, why are you funding the party? If she can't have a party because you pulled your money, well, that's not your problem. Keep the money. Get a new iPad. Change the code on the safe and don't tell anyone. Although I'm glad your dad supports you, don't ever expect anything from your mom, as she obviously favors your sister. OP, take your mom's car, park it at the train station, and leave it unlocked with the keys in it. If your mom asks where her car is, say you lost it at the train station, and when the inevitable happens, tell her to shut up and never call me a thief. Seriously, I'm more concerned your mom is okay with all this stealing. She's a major part of the problem, and you are not the idiot. Hopefully, your sister has learned that actions have consequences. I'm sorry, OP, your sister is a bit of a brat, with no boundaries and rather selfish. But boy, your mother is a piece of work. She created this situation by spoiling your sister. Then if she doesn't like the consequences, she can pay for the party with her own money. I just hope you're able to recover your drawing somehow. I know I'd be devastated if I were to lose my artwork, even if it was only less than a month's worth. Update. My brother just left. Apparently, my sister has been stealing from him too when she goes to his place. She admitted to just keeping the things to herself, and that sometimes she can't help it. She acts before she can think much about it. She admitted that she had taken my iPad, but claimed that her intention wasn't hurting me. That's why she left the case. She was planning on taking it to school, bragging about it, and then returning it, since it was way too expensive and for once, didn't want to take the risk. But apparently she did lose it, or someone took it from her bag because she swears she didn't sell it or anything. I mean, after this, it's just pointless to keep lying. She went to her room and returned with a bunch of things, some mine, some my brother's, and some that belonged to our cousins and her friends. She even had one of Caleb's rings. We don't know how she did all of this, and she refuses to give that information. She also refuses to tell me how she broke into my safe. So my parents are outside talking alone. Thanks for your support. My cousin, Tom, 27 male, recently got his girlfriend, Amy, 26, pregnant. I put girlfriend in quotes because they weren't technically boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but they have been going out for over half a year. Now they plan to be serious for the baby and move in together. A few of us got together. Tom, his brother's girlfriend, my husband, and I. Tom started talking about how Amy has baby-trapped him as women always do with men. He said that Amy has brought up wanting to be exclusive with him before, but he said no. So that must be why she got pregnant. Now, Tom is 27, unemployed, has been trying to get his degree for 6 years now. No degree in sight yet. Has no idea what he wants to do with his life and lives with his parents. On the other hand, Amy has a master's degree, a nice career, her own apartment, and honestly seems to be a great woman overall. I've only met her a few times, but she's fun and lovely. When Tom said what he said, I just laughed a bit and told him that he was unemployed, broke, and living at home. He wasn't worth baby trapping. If anyone had baby trapped anyone here, it was him, because he could have never gotten such an amazing woman to stick with him long term otherwise. Now he's really upset with me, and it looks like he wants to cut me out of his life completely. My husband thinks I was right saying what I said, but my other cousin and his girlfriend say that even though Tom is acting really stupid, I shouldn't have insulted him so much, as he's already insecure about his situation. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He seems awful, and she is stuck raising 2 children now. I also find it interesting that he says something misogynistic and rude about the mother of his child, but you turn it back on him, and he never wants to talk to you again? 'Cause the truth hurts. Obviously, he's been living off the bank of mom and dad, and now he's diving headfirst into a relationship and parenthood when he's still living like a teenager at the age of 27. Not the idiot, and he isn't trapped. It's not hard for him to sign his rights away and have absolutely nothing to do with her or the child. He makes it seem like he's stuck with no options and is made worse by his comments that all women do this. Surprise, protection does fail, and it doesn't mean it was intentional. Your cousin is misogynistic and disrespectful to the woman bearing his child. He should be feeling insecure. She doesn't need him, and once she wises up to his BS, she likely won't want him either. Less than a year is not enough time for the rose-colored glasses to come off, but if I were Tom, I'd focus less on insulting my girlfriend to my family and more on being someone she wants to keep in her life once they do. I kind of think Amy should dump him. We rented a castle for our wedding, and we have a friend, Abby, who honestly had a drink in her hand all of yesterday. My fiancé, James, took the guys out on the grounds for paintball that he had previously planned with the owner, and we went to a spa. Don't get me wrong, we were drinking, but it was at most 2 glasses of champagne, as we were saving ourselves for the evening. Abby must have had around 8 glasses. She then went on to say how she dated James in high school and how she's, in her own words, like so happy for us, while she said giving me the stink eye and nearly walking into the door. James and his friends said he never dated her. He only invited her because her twin brother is his best friend and best man. The night came and she kept making sly digs. We had a big drink and a dinner at the castle for everyone, no separate things. She kept saying how we were doomed because I saw him before our wedding, etc. She loudly asked him if I was pregnant. I'm not, and if that's why he was marrying me. She started taking photos of the castle, saying how fake everything was. How rude of her. Like, what? I told her to not come tomorrow to the wedding. I said she's only invited because she follows her brother everywhere like some lost puppy, and that we felt sorry for her. I don't care what she does. I don't want her at our wedding at all, not even the party. James backed me up, and she looked at him, asked if he was serious, and then ran off. She ended up falling asleep on a sofa in the main hallway, clutching a bottle of open champagne. Many people did try talking to her and telling her to stop and tone it down, but I refused to re-invite her. Did I go overboard? She's telling everyone that I'm a bridezilla. My mother said I'm not, and she's happy I told her to stop before she goes all crazy. I just feel bad for her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I don't really think the backstory is necessary here. You don't want her at your wedding, which is all the justification you need. And the fact that she's being completely insufferable and rude to you only solidifies your position. Why do I suspect that she plans on showing up tomorrow in a white dress? She seems to be doing everything else that horrible wedding guests do. She's drinking because she had a schoolgirl crush on your fiancé, never made a move because it's her brother's best friend, and is upset that she missed her chance with him. She has no place at your wedding, especially since it was a pity invite anyway. Don't spend even 1 second more worrying if you're the idiot. You're not. Just concentrate on enjoying what will be a magical day. All the best.